YouTube. What's going on with your jawline? All right, Julian here from Jawline Theory. This video, I wanted to talk about the benefits of periodization in the sense that it could help you gain muscle and break through plateaus. You're going to see consistent gains when you employ this technique. Now, I've been doing this for quite some time, and I got to tell you, it does work. I see a lot of guys come to the gym and they pretty much follow the same routine day in, day out, week after week, month after month, year after year. They rarely change their program. Partly, I think, it's because the initial start of that program, they got gains. They think it works, and after about 2 years, they're still following the program despite reaching a ceiling or a plateau. In this video, I'm going to explain to you some of the benefits that come with periodization. All right, so let's get started. Periodization simply allows you to change those variables such as intensity, rep range, poundages, and also duration. So how long you're going to follow that particular segment in the longer periodization cycle. All right, so why would you want to engage in a periodization cycle? Frankly, you're going to burst through plateaus. Your body gets used to what you're doing. You're hitting the same workouts, the same rep ranges. If you find that your poundage is not really increasing, whether that's the bench, the deadlift, chances are it's time for you to cycle through another segment of your periodization cycle. Most people seem to hover in the hypertrophy phase. So your periodization can be comprised of different cycles. Let me just break this down for you. So for 4 to 6 weeks, you'll follow the hypertrophy phase. This is where you're focused on doing rep ranges between 10 and 15 reps. This is what most people do, and they pretty much stick to this for an indefinite period of time. Now, nothing's wrong with that, but after about 2-3 months, your body will need a change. This is where you start another cycle. Now, this could be a strength cycle where you're going to increase the poundage. So you're going to lift a little heavier, but you're going to lower that rep range. So instead of hovering in the 10 to 15 rep range, which was indicative of the hypertrophy phase, now you're going to hover between the 3 to 5 rep range. By then, your joints are good, you're stronger, you've acquired a bit more strength throughout those lifts, those hypertrophy phase, then now you can take that to the strength phase and just focus on those core compound lifts like heavy bench. I know bench gets a bad name, bad reputation, but hey man, some of those guys in the 70s, that is how they built a phenomenal chest. All right, so bench press, deadlifts, the squats, use those as your power base. This is what's going to help you basically pack on mounds of muscle during that strength phase. Other people like to employ another phase after the strength phase. I like to do what is called deloading, or just basically I guess you can call it active recovery. All right, so that will be the third phase of the cycle. So this can last anywhere between a week, maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks tops, especially if you're a natural guy. You may need a little more time to recover. You're not using PEDs to recover. So you may need that additional week for a total of 2 weeks to basically hit the gym, but don't go too crazy. All right. You can half the duration of your workout. So let's say you're going there for an hour and a half. Try 45 minutes, try a few light sets of, let's say, some of your favorite compound lifts. But the goal here is not to hit your PRs. You're not doing, or you're not training as heavy as you were during your hypertrophy phase, nor are you trying to train as intense as when you're doing your strength phase. In this deloading or active recovery, as I like to call it, you're basically making sure you're going to the gym, allowing your body sufficient time to recover. This would be also a great opportunity to catch up on some sleep. If you can go to bed an hour earlier, that's even better. This is going to help you recover so that you can repeat the cycle. This is why it's called periodization. So again, just a quick recap. Hypertrophy phase, 4 to 6 weeks, focus on 10 to 15 reps. Then immediately after that, you engage in the strength phase. You can do this for about 3 weeks. I find that after 3 weeks, your joints begin to hurt you because you're pushing very heavy. You're going heavier than when you were engaged in the hypertrophy phase. So extending that strength phase for anything beyond 3 weeks, you might have some small little injuries in your shoulder or your knees, your joints basically, all right? So 2 to 3 weeks for that strength phase. And then finally, the recovery or active recovery phase. This can last anywhere between 1 and 2 weeks. Then you repeat the cycle over and over again. All right. So you find that you can probably do this a couple times throughout the year. And I guarantee you'll start to see gains. Your body will quickly recover and nothing will feel stagnant. Nothing will feel like you're not making progress because you're always changing those variables, forcing your body to adapt. And you'll find that every time you hit a cycle, so for instance, you do a strength phase now in February, and then you do that cycle until the next strength phase. Let's say this takes you to, let's say, June. You're actually going to be stronger than when you were in January. And then you probably have another strength cycle coming in October. You're going to be stronger than the one in June, so on and so forth. And that's how you sort of like balance out your workout. All right. So this is a quick little tip here. Let me know if you've done something similar. Maybe your particular periodization cycle involves more cycles. There's no right way, but that's pretty much the 3 components I like to use: hypertrophy phase, strength phase, and then active recovery, then rinse and repeat. All right. If you like this video, if you found it useful, consider subscribing to the channel. Leave your comments down below. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.